because everything we do is leaving a legacy. So there's,
Yeah, for the same reason, our world is what resonated to me. I mean, I wish there was more of that in this kind of whole thing.
yes.
But
And in our world, are we speaking about our Richemont world or our world that we all live on?
I interpret it as the planet. Like
Yeah.
Planet and the community. Yeah.
I think there might be some clarity to add to that then. Our world, or our collective world, or, you know, our employee client world, or, you know, whatever you want to do there. But our world, you can read it as, it's just the Richemont world. But if, you know, then you start moving more into CSR, corporate social responsibility, as opposed to, you know, making wonderful things and selling them to people.
Okay,
Also put expanding on the Maison history.
okay,
Because I think we get a lot of things end up being stuck in the history, but expanding on it to me means taking the history and moving it into the future, which would go after, you know, all the Maisons target newer and younger audiences, but you're never going to connect to those audiences by continuing along the same historical lines that they can't connect to. You know, they don't live in the same world their grandparents lived in, so you have to make it something. You have to take your history and make it something that they can understand in a new futuristic developed world. You know, so.
okay. Any more positive, just to give me the full picture of your reaction on that first paragraph? Okay, nothing else?
I like the idea to use what we are good at to build the future. At least there is no lie on the base of the story, you know. We are good at craftsmanship, heritage. We have fantastic things inside our house. We don't need to be prisoner of that. I fully agree with you, but it's a good base to start instead of dreaming of value that are not.
And where did this, where was this idea suggested in this first paragraph to be
For me, our heritage helps us to write our future, at least should help us to write our future, but it's a nice goal, because clearly we are strong with heritage, and let's do something with it, you know.
Absolutely. Okay. Very clear. So, your issues in that paragraph were, in terms of, you know, what's less clear, what's not fitting with Richemont, what's not differentiating enough?
I think whenever you say things, and again, when we say everything we do is to expand, it just seems over the top, right? It's too, I don't know, there's obviously things we do beyond that. It just feels dramatic, overly dramatic.
Okay.
And I think once you start to get overly dramatic, it starts to teeter on, you know, as Darren pointed, arrogance, and it's too much. It's overstating it.
Yeah.
So I think you lose the message a little bit when it appears you're overstating it.
Yes. Anything else?
I also think, like, the idea of not at the expense of it, like if I'm still stuck on, like, we're talking about words that I'm like,
Words matter, though. Yeah, the words matter. Yeah.
This should set the tone and a rallying point for the team.
Yeah.
And to do that, this needs to be a true statement that people can get behind, that is forward-thinking, future-facing, taking us to a different place. And I think anytime we start bringing in, like, ideas that are not at the expense of it, it kind of takes a negative tone, which I think is unnecessary I'm not going to use in a mission statement. You know, I go back to
just don't say it.
Just don't say it. It's too many words. And, you know, I spent a couple years at Nike, and the mission statement was to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. An athlete had an asterisk, and it was, if you have a body, you're an athlete. And I mean, I'll never forget that, because it's so sharp and so clear and so. It created the soul of the company, and short and concise, and everybody could get behind it at any level of the company, because we each played a role in providing inspiration and innovation. And that's what we need for Richemont. It's something sharp and ownable,
I think
and a balance of history and heritage and future.
I totally agree with you. What's super interesting here is that it shows in the meantime the purpose of what we are doing is necessary because first of all of us have different interpretation, and then clearly we don't have this banner under which we all need to be. So.
And we're all gonna interpret, we're gonna interpret it totally differently.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
Yeah,
So it doesn't exist.
yeah.
And to your point, I mean, the sentence, which I understood that people liked it, I didn't like, now I understand it better, but we do things because we believe they are right, not because they are seen to be. Isn't that the same thing as our ethics or our integrity is more precious than anything we
Yeah,
can create?
too many words.
You know, so
Yeah.
you're kind of saying the same thing here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what in that first paragraph, what do you think are the things that are most relevant that you can own, that are really like Richemont?
Maison History and savoir-faire.
Mhm.
It's very us.
I think ethics, integrity, I think you can balance those,
Absolutely,
yeah.
this is a core value, man.
Okay. What makes Richemont really stand out in that first, in terms of idea versus anyone else? Is the same?
Yeah,
Is the heritage?
yeah,
Story.
yeah,
I think the idea of taking our heritage into the future,
yeah, strong.
because there are a lot of brands with 150 years.
Yeah, Vacheron's the longest running watch brand on the planet, right?
Right, so we have tons of history,
Yes.
but we're not dwelling on that.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
taking all that into the future. Use
Okay.
Something that could be ownable.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one, because I don't want us to pursue them as well. We are pioneers of new possibilities. And you hear me come, right, with my questions. Is it clear? Can we own it? Is it aspirational? Is it different? Does it fit with the Maisons and Richemont? So, same question. What did you want to highlight positively in that paragraph?
New possibilities,
Yes.
this is crucial, and what I'm experiencing is that there is a big gap actually between what we do and because when I see we continuously explore new territories, so far I think it's not the case.
So this is where the sensation of a gap is the
Yeah.
strongest for you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
I think the idea of craftsmanship and technology,
okay,
kind of like when we were talking heritage and future,
yes,
craftsmanship and technology.
okay,
I had that highlighted positively. as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. But maybe craftsmanship and innovation, maybe?
Or innovation, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than technology.
But
Okay.
and the knock-on effect of all that obviously is to drive the customer experience, right? Create the customer
Ultimately,
experience.
the objective is the client
Yeah.
experience, right?
Mhm.
No matter what it takes,
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I highlighted experience, like just because experience is really what we need to provide at any level of any
Yeah.
brand.
But can we get rid of the shopping experience?
Yeah.
I didn't actually highlight the word shopping.
Right,
I-
right.
The words from like 1962.
Shopping experience is not, I mean, I feel like I'm going to the grocery store or something.
Yeah.
Shopping.
are we pioneers of new possibilities?
Clearly.
That just seems so, it seems trite, it seems really trite.
Today.
Really?
It seems really trite, the pioneers of new possibilities, it feels really overstated and,
So everyone tries it
Yeah.
out and then we go.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
does that not make us a pioneer?
Limited edition, mass marketing.
Yeah.
You know, limited edition, yes, it's limited. We're never gonna make that
So what are
again.
you if you're not pioneers?
Followers?
I don't know about
Late about this.
about followers, but I think that we're smart enough to recognize what drives the various businesses and responding to
Yeah.
client needs and or expectations. I don't know that we fully anticipate client needs and expectations really well, to be honest with you. I
Okay.
think there's a huge push now that, obviously, yes, client-centric, but really understanding what they want, really understanding what they need,
Yes.
what's a must-have for our clientele, I
Okay.
think a lot of organizations within Richemont overall
Right.
don't grasp that, because frankly, they don't interact.
Okay, but would you like to be, that's the question, would you like
Oh,
to be
sure.
pioneers?
Sure.
I feel like we're always playing catch-up, though. I mean, not to overstate it, but I feel like we're
Because again,
trying to stay
you-
current.
Yeah, you're reacting to your current situation.
Yeah.
But is that a goal? Is that an aspirational goal?
Yeah, I think I mean, for me, there is something, again, I find myself conflicted on each of these, but I've struggled with the word pioneers of new possibilities, but I do think as a group that we are taking the lead in some areas. And so the things that come to mind for me are like Cartier de Clash, which I think was pretty bold and from a product perspective, the Michelangelo Foundation, which was, you know, not, well, I guess that's not really a Richemont thing, but it is a Mr. Rippet thing. So there are some things that we're doing that other people are not yet doing to move forward certain areas. But I wonder if the word is pioneers, or if it's actually a bit more back to the first of about thinking beyond today. In my mind, whether are those two. For me, the thinking beyond today, future, long-term thinking really resonates.
Yeah.
The pioneers, less.
Do you have other examples like the one that Stuart gave about, you know, some examples like the Cartier stories? Do you have other stories where you thought, yes, we actually pretty much pioneers?
We strive to innovate from a creation standpoint. We strive to
Sure.
innovate.
Tell us more.
But the goal is not to be a pioneer.
No,
The
absolutely.
goal is to push, to try to innovate and create something new.
Yeah.
And then you see what happens with it, but that has to do with creation.
And it's
So
through
I don't
product,
know
it's
how you
product
get
slash
visual-
client experience, not let's throw in some technology and say that we're innovators, right?
Okay.
Or pioneering something.
Yeah.
I don't,
And
it's
pioneering-
like Richemont, you know?
Yeah, it implies that.
Because, excuse me, I'm
Oh,
coming
sure.
to you just a minute.
You know, because the history of our brand, I think that's one of the reasons why we're kind of followers, is that we have to be very careful in the way we innovate and not just throw technology at something. I mean, how can you just throw technology into the Van Cleef product line? It's about the client experience, it's about innovation through products, you know, product innovation, but it's very subtle, you know? It's kind of hard to grasp that concept, but it's not like we're going to create digital stuff that will be great. You know, it just doesn't feel that way, or that we are pioneers in some areas.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it just kind of dovetails with what Roberto was saying. I think the use of pioneers, and same as Stuart, it just implies that we're getting there first, and we're in front of everyone else. And in fact, I think if our competitors were to read that and you envision this thing being on the street, I think that we would lose a little bit of credibility, because it's not true.
But
Yes,
It's not true.
Yes, but again,
But I'm gonna
I
ask
want
you-
to challenge you on this, because you're a bit hooked on how you
Yeah.
see yourself current.
But again, I think it gets back to the point that Darren said earlier, that the choice of the words matters, right? Because it comes off as being arrogant. I do believe we should stress what's important to us, and therefore what we
Yeah.
stand for, because some of those things that are important to us, it's a work in progress, right?
Yes.
We're constantly reaching for that, right? And that's okay.
But let me just a question to you, for example, from Roger Dubuis. Isn't Roger Dubuis a pioneer brand?
No,
As a know at all? Is Van Cleef?
I
Do you
wouldn't.
feel that as a brand, you guys in the luxury industry, you guys are pushing forward? I mean, pushing the limit?
Unique.
Well,
No.
IWC,
Not more than some other brands. That's the problem. When we say we are pioneer, it means you are the first and the only one at that stage. That's not what we are.
Yeah.
And I think none of the Maison is, unfortunately.
No.
So.
Yes, but remember, we're building the vision for tomorrow.
Yes, but there needs to be a lot more humility.
Yeah, some grounding, yeah.
There needs to have
Yeah.
some base.
We're way out there, that's pioneers now.
Yeah, maybe the way that I would think about it to that point is, okay, well, we're all, we collective industry are all trying to become more digital and more whatever, and we tend to think as a company, I think, oh, we bought this and we bought this client, so therefore, you know, we're like really leading the charge. I can imagine that discussion with in Bellevue. Whereas if you went into the boardroom at LV and you talk to them, you kind of digital, or if you went into carrying boardroom, probably the same discussion.
Yeah.
So I think it's really the word pioneer that is bothering me. Are we pushing new possibilities? Yes.
Yes.
It all should be.
Yeah.
The pioneer part. which
Okay.
is-
Yeah.
I think we tend to do too much. We focus a lot on execution and doing the execution of things more properly and in a longer term way, as opposed to really taking any risk in the front end. We're very we don't take risk at all in this company. And then the risks that they want to think we take, or we want to think we take, or just end up being very calculated risks that take much longer to actualize, and therefore put us way behind the curve of what other of our counterparts are actually doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is definitely this tension between credibility, where are we today, and what do we aspire to? And we certainly aspire to do things better, but we don't want to sound pretentious or arrogant or whichever. So I get that. So new possibilities, yes. The pioneers probably seems too far. What else on this topic, on that one, before moving on to the next one?
For me, and maybe the folks from the brands can help me on this, our clients feel, and this is the part that I underline, as much joy in the discovering as they do in the giving or owning. Is that real, or is that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I've discovered this new product.
I will not.
It's a little hokey, guys.
I will say I actually get that, but that's because most people have
Don't know your
who
brand.
our brand is.
Matthew loved it.
I actually experienced all of this.
I thought we underlined that yellow.
People in the best kept secrets in America.
Are people walking into boutiques and really like with joy discovering new products?
Yeah, I mean, they are not the full answer. They are, the one you want.
They just hate the price tag.
Okay, so
For me, I put everything in green except craftsmanship, because having worked for other groups, clearly the word pioneering cannot be more far away from what we are.
okay,
Um,
yeah. But
it's not a-
craftsmanship, you can own it?
Yeah.
Clearly, craftsmanship and heritage, all this, we are so good, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
The word technology is maybe not, we already said it, and maybe not the right one.
But when
Yeah,
we see
no,
Innovation maybe will be better.
Just to try to bring a new idea to the table takes so much effort for us.
Yeah.
You know, so much validation process.
Okay.
We talk about agility, but we're, no.
Well, Lisa, with this session helps identify the, probably some new goals.
But U.S. is a country of entrepreneurs, so here that's something that speaks to us clearly, and that's not where we are. So.
Okay. Gotcha. Next one now. We reveal the exceptional. More comments on this one. Again, starting with things that resonate, right? Just to, not trying to bias at all, just to be, able to focus on the things that resonate.
Ideas are valuable.
Yes.
Actually, the tagline, we reveal the exceptional, I think is quite true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
clever.
Yes.
First sentence is positive and
Yeah.
true, I think. Creativity shines through in everything we do.
Yes.
It's creative, the pieces are creative,
Yeah.
the people.
Give me some examples. Proofs.
As far as creativity is concerned, well, I think, creating a different product line, which was mentioned already, from Clash to Cartier, different things like that. There is that continual sort of creativity and looking at new pieces. But if you're looking at a retail academy, if you're looking at different training formats, if you're looking at different things, yes, there's creativity that's happening from all areas.
Well, we're also,
Inclusion and diversity, that was something that obviously we all think about, right? But we've never really had a formalized program for that. I see that as being creative.
Yes.
We also own, we're not known as a fashion and accessories
Right.
group, but we have a fashion and accessories group.
Yes.
And fashion and accessories creates every day.
Seasonally.
Yes.
It's not even season, it's every
Yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah, sure,
We
but-
all have design teams. It's not like there's for watch and jewelry, but in fashion, you have
So-
design teams literally every single day sketching new things and creating new things. Whether those come to market or not is another story, but every single day
Right.
something is being created
Right.
and something new is happening. It changes
Mhm.
within every minute.
Intrinsic to the business. And you said it too, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Everything.
perfectly. Okay, great. So this one resonates a bit more. This one, we reveal the exceptional. What are things to remove? What's the fluff that you don't like here that could be, either too far
this-
or
The
too...
word luxury,
The word luxury?
I just don't think it fits in here, I think it's unnecessary to use.
Yeah, it's redundant, it's redundant.
Just, again, it goes back to the arrogance, like,
Mm.
the definition of luxury is changing, we've got to appeal to a much younger audience who doesn't give a shit about the word luxury.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't think it, in a mission statement or a manifesto, I don't think we need to
I
say
added
it.
promise, the
Okay.
word right before it, because promise anything is,
Yeah.
I mean, there's people every day that walk in
Yeah.
top sure all of our boutiques that don't have
Yeah.
what they feel are luxury experiences and great experiences, and
Okay.
I don't know, I think there's a way, it's just the word promising anything is not necessarily,
What would you use?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's ways to strive to make exceptional experiences all the time. I just don't know if I would use the word promise. I think there's probably a better
You're committed to.
committing,
We strive to,
Strive.
something that shows a little ounce of humility.
Yes.
Because if you say you're going to promise and there's a chance of you failing, it's never going to be good.
Okay.
The other thing is, when we say creativity shines through in everything we do. Again, just overstating it dramatically,
And curiosity is commonplace?
Yeah, arrogance.
I was a little curious about that comment.
Yeah, no, it's common. I think
But I do think, just.
We had a common view on that.
Just as a takeaway for you, I think words throughout the manifesto, which is a word unto itself there that has some issues, words like everything, continuously, pioneers. I think what you're getting now, feedback from this group is really, got to tone that down a little
Yeah.
bit.
Like, you can see us punching
I
our
get
chest
it,
every
but
time.
I still want to challenge you because I think we still have to be ambitious. So I think,
But-
the writing exercise becomes what are the right words, to also, give us a goal that's not where we are now, but in a credible, motivating, and reasonable way that fits our culture.
So instead of continuously, we strive to,
Yeah.
or we are preparing for the
We won't.
future, or we are, things of that nature that are going to show action
Yeah.
that we're involved in getting us from point A to point B up here in the future,
Yep.
but we're not at point B yet. So you can't say we are the pioneers, or everything that we do, or we continuously show that, or our promise is,
Yeah.
to your point, luxury is a perception, right?
It's inherent in
Yeah.
who we are. You don't need to talk about
Right.
it. It's inherent, yeah.
I mean, I want to come back to the overall, because I think it's important in this, is that, because I've heard it a couple of times, but I can only speak for myself, which is, I actually think, my feedback is the whole page needs a relook, a fundamental restart, to be, instead of 4 paragraphs long, 1 paragraph, and really only with those truly special core to us things. I'd be a little concerned if the feedback goes in such a way as we're talking about replacing this word with that word. Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what might be a good practice for you in the various focus groups that you run, is have the people read it, have the discussion about it, but then give time for the people in this room to recraft each
Reveal.
one.
Yeah.
And
Stuart,
you might see a huge difference between what came out and then what is being promoted from the
You
group here.
think so? You think the
Oh,
others would react like you guys are reacting today?
I think so.
Maybe not in
I think
China, but, but maybe not in China.
Okay, yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, okay. So, and I get the point. Let's not fragment too much because there is an overarching message that you're trying to tell me, which I'm getting, by the way, right? I'm going through the process, but I completely get what you're telling me.
Okay.
So, having said this, let's move on to the last one, and then we can just, summarize and extract really the interesting topics on that. So, last one. We're proud of our passion.
Yeah,
What
the one that really resonates with how we are today is we work endlessly. No, I'm sorry. That was a joke.
Tirelessly?
We never stop working. No.
That's good. I prefer 150%. There's room for work endless. What does that even mean?
Okay.
Like we're in sweatshops?
So, tell me what you put in yellow.
We have unique stories to tell.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
passion is worth sharing.
Yes?
Empathy is essential.
I didn't hear, sorry.
Empathy is essential.
Yeah,
I have that highlighted as well.
yeah.
Yes.
The trustworthy, I think, is important.
Yeah.
Relationship with the
Yes.
client.
Yes. Give me some examples that make you think it's ownable. It's really you. It's really the maison. It fits on the positive, right? That you're highlighting now. Like unique stories. What are your stories? Or passion, worth sharing.
Other stories. I mean, that's again, sorry to pick on Kadia, but just walk into the mansion, and it's full of stories.
Yeah,
Every
even
floor has
though-
a story. Every painting has a story. Every piece has a story. I think that the real story